Hi, and welcome to today's video, which is about the 3 boundaries that could change your life. My name is Bernie Browne. I am a women's self-esteem coach, and I am here to give you a little workshop video on how you can create stronger boundaries and stop feeling like a doormat. How you can stop feeling or stop being like the people pleaser all the time. How you can stop feeling taken for granted because you don't have strong boundaries and you don't know how to say no. Maybe you're just fed up and sick of feeling like, unloved and disrespected and, as I said, like a complete doormat that everybody uses or only wants you when they need something. If you are at the point where you're feeling resentful to people because they're always taking and not giving back, then it's time to put some boundaries in place. What I want to tell you is, what does boundaries do and how do we establish them? So to have really healthy boundaries means that you actually get to have more time for yourself, more time to nurture yourself, more time to take care of yourself and to fulfill your own needs. You also get more energy because you're not giving it away to everybody, or people aren't taking your energy away from you. You get to feel inspired again because it means that you actually do get to spend that time yourself. You do get to fill your cup back up, and you do get to actually start plugging into what feels good and where you want to go and how inspiration can take you at any moment because you have those healthy boundaries in place. You actually get to fall in love with life again and not think that it just is a game of everybody takes from you and you're the one that just gives it, and you maybe don't want to say anything because of conflict, or you can't say anything because you don't know how to put some healthy boundaries in place. It also gives you space for more health, more happiness, and, as I said, inspiration. So today I want to share with you the 3 boundaries that I'll be sharing in Feminine Confidence, and letting you know how you can start putting some of them in place. I'll also be adding an extra bonus today, which is around boundaries, because it is one of the most important things for your own self-growth, for your own self-esteem, because, as I said, it means that people will stop taking from you, okay? So I want to talk about those 3 boundaries, those 3 types of boundaries that I absolutely love. And it took me a long time to kind of put them together and actually realize that boundaries aren't just all one thing, and a lot of people think that boundaries have to be like a big brick wall, and you're on one side and everybody else is on the other. And that's why we think that boundaries create conflict, because we're going, no, you cannot come in, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. And it's very, very strict. Where I see boundaries more like a picket fence around your garden. So if you don't have boundaries and you live on a main road, then people walk down the street and their dogs will come and poo or pee on your grass. Kids will come and play on it and leave litter. And basically everybody will come and use that space for whatever they want to use it for. And to have really healthy, loving boundaries in place, you put up a picket fence. It's still very inviting, it still looks good, but you're now saying to the general public, to your loved ones, this is my space. Yes, I have boundaries, and there's a gate, but there must be certain rules around it so that you can use this space, and it has to be an agreement. That is the thing about boundaries, is that it has to be, first you have to start understanding what your needs and wants are to create that boundary. And secondly, there has to be some kind of agreement. And we talk about, I'm going to tell you about the 3 types of boundaries, because one of them is when that agreement doesn't happen. And you're going to get people like that. You're going to get people who don't want to agree with why you're taking back all your time, why you're taking back all your energy, why you're taking back what they feel is your love, but it's not. And so let's get on to those 3 types of boundaries. So the first one is the loving, healthy boundary, okay? And that boundary is about nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself. And to create a loving, healthy boundary for yourself is to say, this is for my self-care, or this is for my hobby. You can also do it for if you have a business or a job and you need specific time maybe to just, unwind or just kind of like, shake off the day. Second one is the loving, strict boundary. And this is the one I was telling you about. If some of your loved ones or friends or workmates or whatever don't agree with the boundary that you are creating. And so this boundary is saying no and meaning no and then following through. And there's a special way to do this, which I'll be teaching you in Feminine Confidence, because it's kind of like the universe. When you make a decision, the universe goes, are you sure? And so when you start creating new boundaries, the people you're creating those boundaries for will go, are you sure? And they'll shake the picket fence a little bit just to make sure. And it's about how you come back to them with why you are creating that boundary that actually starts creating that agreement, and which is why it's called a loving, strict boundary and not just a strict one, because otherwise it may as well be the wall and then pounding on the other side. And the last one is fluid boundaries. And fluid boundaries are specific to your growth and your needs and what you need at a specific time. So they grow with you and they shift and move with you. And then if you sort of move into something else where you're going, I don't actually need that time to do that with now, so I can remove that boundary, but I actually do need extra time for this, then so that means that your boundaries can shift and move with you as you go through your life. The other thing about boundaries is that it's actually, once you know how to create a boundary, and once you actually, when people see that you're serious, that this is what you actually want, because now all of a sudden you've shifted. The thing is that when you people please, people always expect you to say yes. And even when you just say no for the first time, they're just like, what? What do you mean? What is that word coming out of your mouth? And so boundaries is all about basically repeating yourself and basically having a repetitive kind of nature to it until the other people or whatever the situation is gets it. And this is the thing, like, you can have boundaries with your pets, you can have boundaries with your boss, you can have boundaries with your loved ones. It doesn't matter, but it also means that you get to feel safe within your own boundaries, especially those loving, healthy boundaries, which helps you gain confidence, which helps you increase your self-value and your self-worth. And that's what we want to do on the Feminine Confidence, is give you the structure and the tools to be able to create very loving but healthy boundaries, so that it gives you a chance to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself, to get, actually start to know yourself again and understand yourself again, and to actually be able to explore life in a new way where you're not tethered to other people constantly. Because this is the other thing about people pleasing, is that a lot of the times we're enabling others by doing everything for them, but we're actually not letting them actually do the same that I'm going to be teaching you. How to understand yourself, how to see what your limits are, how to see what challenges you. If you do something for somebody like all the time, then they won't get to know their own strengths and their own weaknesses. They won't get to know what they're really good at. And it's a bit of like growing up. And so that's what I want to be sharing with you in the Feminine Confidence over the next 6 weeks. So all the information is is below in the email or on this page, and I am going to be adding a bonus, which I think is bonus 4 at this stage. And what I'm going to be sharing with you is healthy boundaries for a happier life checklist. And as I said, we will be going deeper and using all the tools in the Feminine Confidence 2020 program. And if you want to join us, we start on Monday. So doors are closing very, very soon. Have an amazing day and have a wee look at what's going on with your boundaries today. And I'll see you soon.